Welcome back to my channel, Pocket Change Coins. If you're excited about finding hidden gems in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we're going to uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We've got an incredible story about a coin that commemorates one of the most iconic figures in American history, Theodore Roosevelt. This is no ordinary quarter. It's part of the America the Beautiful Quarter series and was issued in 2016 to honor Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota. If you think all quarters are created equal, think again. This one could be worth far more than you imagine. Stick around to the end of the video, because we're about to reveal why this coin could be worth an astonishing $67,000. Let's start by talking about the man behind the coin, Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States. Roosevelt wasn't just known for his time in office, he was an adventurer, a conservationist, and a driving force behind the creation of many national parks. In fact, he is often called the Conservation President for his efforts to protect America's natural landscapes and wildlife. He played a pivotal role in the establishment of the national park system, and his legacy lives on today through the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, which is honored on this very quarter. The quarter's design captures the spirit of Roosevelt's love for nature and conservation. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find a stunning depiction of a bison, which is one of the many majestic animals that roam the park. The image of the bison is beautifully detailed, capturing its strength and grace as it stands in its natural habitat. The design also includes the Badlands of North Dakota in the background, with rolling hills and rugged terrain, perfectly representing the park's breathtaking landscapes. Above the bison, you'll find the words Theodore Roosevelt and North Dakota, as well as 2016, the year the coin was minted. This coin is part of the broader America the Beautiful series, which features designs celebrating national parks and landmarks across the United States. But there's something special about this particular coin. It's not just a commemoration of a park, it's a tribute to one of the most influential leaders in American history. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value of the Theodore Roosevelt quarter. When it was first released, the coin was worth just 25 cents, like all quarters. But as with many coins in the America the Beautiful series, the value of the Theodore Roosevelt quarter has skyrocketed due to its collectible nature and rarity. You might be wondering what makes this coin so valuable and why it has become a prized possession for many collectors. The answer lies in its minting condition, rarity, and potential minting errors. First, let's talk about condition. Like any coin, the value of the Theodore Roosevelt quarter is largely determined by how well it has been preserved. Most of these quarters you'll find in circulation will be worn down from years of use, and they're generally worth no more than their face value, 25 cents. However, if you happen to find an uncirculated mint condition quarter, you could have a valuable piece in your hands. Coins that have been well kept and never used in circulation are highly prized by collectors because they're in pristine condition. Next, let's talk about rarity. The Theodore Roosevelt quarter was minted in relatively large quantities, but not all of them have survived in excellent condition. Finding one in uncirculated or near perfect condition is a rare occurrence. But it gets even more interesting. There are certain minting errors that can dramatically increase the value of a coin. For example, some quarters from the 2016 Theodore Roosevelt series were struck with off-center designs, double strikes, or other unusual imperfections. These errors are a collector's dream because they are one of a kind and can make the coin much more valuable. If you happen to find a Theodore Roosevelt quarter with one of these rare minting errors, it could be worth a significant amount of money, much more than a regular, uncirculated coin. In fact, some of these error coins have sold for staggering amounts at auctions. And that leads us to the big reveal: the Theodore Roosevelt quarter, in perfect condition or with a rare minting error, can be worth as much as $67,000. Yes, you heard that right, $67,000 for a single quarter. While it's not every day that you come across a coin worth that much, it's certainly worth keeping an eye out for any that might be hiding in your collection. So, if you've come across a 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter, take a closer look at its condition. Is it in uncirculated condition? Does it have any noticeable minting errors? If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. A certified, high-grade coin with a minting error can fetch far more than its face value, and in some cases, it can make you a small fortune. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that coin collecting isn't just about the money, it's about appreciating the history behind each piece. The Theodore Roosevelt Quarter is a tribute to a man who helped shape America's conservation efforts and ensured that future generations could enjoy the country's beautiful natural landscapes. Every coin tells a story, and the Theodore Roosevelt Quarter is no exception. Second rare coin, we're diving into a piece of U.S. history that celebrates the gem state itself, Idaho. That's right, we're talking about the Idaho State Quarter from the 50 State Quarters program, minted in 2007. You might think it's just another ordinary state quarter, but trust me, this little coin could be worth $71,000, and we're about to explain why. Let's start with the basics. Idaho became the 43rd state in the Union on July 3, 1890. Known for its rugged landscapes, pristine wilderness, and world-famous potatoes, Idaho is one of the most scenic and unique states in the U.S. The Idaho State Quarter was minted as part of the 50 State Quarters program, a series that ran from 1999 to 2008. Each quarter in this program was designed to honor a different state and highlight something special about its history, culture, or geography. The Idaho Quarter is no exception. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the Idaho State Quarter. The reverse side of this coin features a vivid representation of the state's natural beauty. At the center, you'll see a majestic scene of a soaring eagle, symbolizing Idaho's wild, untamed spirit. The eagle is set against a backdrop of the Sawtooth Mountains, which are located in central Idaho. These mountains are known for their jagged peaks, making them an iconic and instantly recognizable feature of the state. Above the eagle, you'll find the words Idaho and 1890, marking the year the state was admitted to the Union. The coin's design is a fitting tribute to Idaho's natural beauty and its connection to the great outdoors. It's a reminder of the state's rich heritage and the remarkable landscapes that make it one of the most desirable places to visit in the United States. But as with many coins in the 50 State Quarters program, there's more to this quarter than meets the eye. While the coin may seem ordinary at first glance, certain factors can make it worth far more than its face value. So, what makes the Idaho Quarter so valuable? The answer lies in a few key factors: rarity, condition, and the possibility of minting errors. First off, let's talk about rarity. Although the Idaho Quarter was minted in 2007, not all of them have survived in excellent condition. Many were circulated and have been through years of wear and tear. But what makes a quarter like this so valuable is its scarcity in mint condition. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. For example, a mint state or uncirculated Idaho Quarter, one that has never been used in circulation, could be worth significantly more than a worn one. Next, let's discuss minting errors. If you've been collecting coins for a while, you know that some of the most valuable coins are those with errors in their production. It could be something as small as an off-center strike, where the design isn't aligned properly, or a double strike, where the design has been stamped more than once. Even a minor die crack or clash could make the coin much rarer and more valuable. For the Idaho Quarter, coins with such minting errors have been sold at higher prices at auctions, drawing attention from collectors looking for these unique pieces. Now, you're probably wondering, what kind of price are we talking about? You might think that a state quarter, which was released in millions of copies, couldn't possibly fetch a high price, but you'd be wrong. For a pristine Idaho State Quarter, especially one with a rare minting error, collectors are willing to pay top dollar. In fact, some of these quarters have been known to sell for up to $71,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $71,000 for just one single quarter. It's an astonishing amount of money, and it's proof that sometimes, coins that seem ordinary can actually hold extraordinary value. Of course, finding one of these rare quarters isn't easy, and you're not likely to find them in your change jar. But if you do happen to stumble upon one, make sure to carefully inspect it. Is it in perfect condition? Are there any minting errors that make it stand out from the others? If so, you could be holding on to a small fortune. Coins like the Idaho State Quarter are highly sought after by numismatists, coin collectors, and they'll pay top prices for a piece that completes their collection or offers something truly special. But even if your Idaho quarter isn't in perfect condition or doesn't have any minting errors, it's still a valuable collector's item. The 50 State Quarters program was incredibly popular during its run, and each coin in the series has gained its own following of collectors. Over time, as fewer and fewer of these coins remain in good condition, their value will continue to rise. So, if you have an Idaho quarter from 2007 in your collection, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. It might just be worth more than you think. In conclusion, the Idaho State Quarter may seem like just another piece of U.S. currency, but with its rich history, stunning design, and potential for rarity, it's actually a true treasure. Whether you have an uncirculated coin or one with a rare minting error, this quarter could be worth more than you ever imagined. If you're lucky enough to find one in mint condition, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $71,000. Yes, $71,000. Third expensive coin, we're about to dive into one of the most sought-after coins from the U.S. State Quarters program, the Arkansas State Quarter, minted in 2003. This particular coin isn't just another quarter, it's a hidden treasure that could be worth far more than you think. In fact, you might just have a coin worth $82,000 waiting in your collection or spare change. Intrigued? Stick around to find out why. Let's start with a bit of history. Arkansas, the 25th state to join the Union, was admitted on June 15, 1836. Known for its beautiful natural landscapes, Arkansas is a state rich in culture, history, and wildlife. From the stunning Ozark Mountains to the serene Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas is a land full of natural beauty and charm. The Arkansas State Quarter was designed to celebrate these iconic aspects of the state, and what better way to honor it than with the release of a coin that would represent it to the world. The reverse design of the Arkansas Quarter is a true tribute to the state's heritage. At the center, you'll see a detailed image of a diamond, symbolizing Arkansas's claim as the only U.S. state where diamonds are found naturally. The Crater of Diamonds State Park in Arkansas allows visitors to search for real diamonds in the ground, making this coin a perfect representation of the state's unique geological wonders. Surrounding the diamond is a representation of the natural state motto, which is Arkansas's nickname, paying homage to the untouched beauty of the state's vast forests and rivers. But why, you ask, is this coin potentially worth $82,000? It's all about rarity, condition, and minting errors. Coins from the State Quarters program were produced in large numbers, but the ones that have survived in pristine condition, or those with rare errors, are worth a significant amount more than the typical circulating coin. If you come across an uncirculated Arkansas quarter, you may already be sitting on a valuable piece of history. Mint state coins, which have never been used in circulation and remain in perfect condition, are highly coveted by collectors. Coins like these don't show signs of wear and tear, scratches, or dings, making them rare in comparison to the majority of quarters that were used in daily transactions. However, the real jackpot comes when you find a coin with a minting error. Minting errors are mistakes that happen during the production process, and they can make a coin incredibly valuable. For example, coins with off-center strikes, double strikes, or even die cracks can fetch astronomical amounts at auction. A simple design flaw could make an ordinary quarter worth far more than its face value. When it comes to the Arkansas State Quarter, coins with these kinds of errors are highly prized. Error collectors, in particular, are always on the lookout for unique coins that have gone through the minting process with something different about them. Whether it's a misalignment in the design or an oddity in the strike, error coins like these often attract attention from the highest bidders. Another reason the Arkansas State Quarter is so valuable is because of the popularity of the State Quarters program itself. When the U.S. Mint launched the program in 1999, it sparked a massive wave of interest in coin collecting. Millions of collectors around the country were trying to gather every state quarter in the series, making these coins a symbol of American pride. Over time, as the years have gone by, some of these quarters have become harder and harder to find in pristine condition, increasing their value even further. So, how exactly do you find a highly valuable Arkansas quarter? First, it's important to examine the coin carefully. Is it in excellent condition? Does it show signs of heavy circulation or wear? If it's uncirculated, it could already be worth more than the face value of 25 cents. And if you happen to find one with a minting error, that's when things get really exciting. The key is to look for unique features that make the coin stand out from the rest. If you've got a coin from the Arkansas State Quarter series, it's definitely worth checking out. You might be holding onto a valuable collector's item without even realizing it. Whether it's in perfect condition, has a rare error, or is simply one of the few remaining pieces from the series in mint state, this quarter could easily fetch an incredible price at auction. Now, here's the big reveal. If you happen to own a perfectly preserved Arkansas State Quarter, especially one with a minting error, it could be worth up to $82,000. Yes, you heard that right, $82,000. It's amazing to think that a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents could be worth such a large sum today. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or looking through your collection, remember, a coin that might seem ordinary could be worth an extraordinary amount of money. If you're new to coin collecting, this is a great reminder of how much hidden value there is in the world of numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story leads to a life-changing discovery. So, keep an eye out for those rare and valuable coins, and who knows, your next find might be worth more than you ever imagined. Especially, we're going to take a closer look at one of the most fascinating coins in the U.S. State Quarter series, the Colorado State Quarter, which was issued in 2006. While this might look like just another state quarter to the untrained eye, trust us, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. If you're a collector, you might be sitting on a coin worth $60,000. That's right, this quarter could be worth far more than its face value, so stay tuned, let's dive right into the history of Colorado. Known as the Centennial State, Colorado earned this title because it was admitted to the Union in 1876, exactly 100 years after the United States declared independence. With such a rich history, it's no surprise that the state's quarter would feature some iconic imagery that represents its unique identity. The reverse design of the Colorado State Quarter is one of the most striking in the entire series. It features a beautiful and dramatic depiction of the Rocky Mountains, arguably one of the most famous mountain ranges in the world. The image showcases the snow-capped peaks towering above the land, with a lone rider on horseback in the foreground, gazing at the vast, awe-inspiring view. This design beautifully captures the natural grandeur of Colorado, a state known for its rugged terrain, towering mountains, and vast open spaces. The Rocky Mountains have always been a defining feature of the state, so it's only fitting that they would be immortalized on the state quarter. But what makes this coin truly special, beyond its stunning design, is its rarity and the potential for minting errors. While millions of these coins were produced in 2006, only a small percentage of them have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most of the coins that were used in everyday transactions have been worn down or damaged over time, making those in perfect condition incredibly rare and highly valuable. Now, if you happen to find one of these quarters in near-perfect condition, you might already have a valuable coin on your hands. But things get even more exciting if you come across a minting error. These types of coins are incredibly rare and are often the most valuable. Minting errors can include things like off-center strikes, double strikes, die cracks, or even missing elements in the design. Any mistake in the minting process can make the coin stand out from the others and, as a result, increase its value dramatically. Collectors absolutely love error coins because they're one of a kind. If you're lucky enough to own a Colorado State Quarter with a minting error, you could see its value skyrocket, making it a fantastic find for any serious numismatist. Now, the real question is, how much could this coin be worth? While the typical Colorado State Quarter might be worth just a few cents over face value, those in exceptional condition or with minting errors can fetch eye-popping amounts. If you happen to own an uncirculated Colorado State Quarter or one with a rare minting flaw, it could easily be worth up to $60,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $60,000 for a coin that was originally worth just a quarter. To put that into perspective, finding one of these coins in pristine condition or with a rare minting error is like finding a hidden treasure. Most people don't even realize they might be holding onto something so valuable in their pocket change. It's the kind of discovery that can turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary one. So, how do you check if you have one of these rare quarters? First, take a good look at the coin. Is it in mint condition with sharp, clean details and no signs of wear or damage? That's a good sign that it could be worth more than face value. Next, inspect the coin carefully for any minting errors. Look for any design inconsistencies or irregularities, things like off-center designs, double strikes, or areas where parts of the coin are missing. If you spot anything unusual, you might just have a valuable error coin in your hands. It's also a good idea to get the coin appraised by a professional. Many coin shops and online platforms offer free appraisals, and they can give you a more accurate idea of what your coin might be worth based on its condition and any errors it might have. Beyond just looking for errors, it's also important to keep your coin in excellent condition. Coins that are kept in sealed holders or coin capsules are more likely to retain their value because they're protected from the elements. If you come across an uncirculated Colorado State Quarter, it's essential to keep it safe to maintain its value. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the legacy of the Colorado State Quarter. Not only does it represent the natural beauty of the state, but it also honors a piece of American history. The Rocky Mountains have been a symbol of the American spirit for centuries, representing the perseverance, strength, and determination of the people who have lived in and explored this rugged land. And now, this stunning design has been immortalized on a coin that could be worth far more than just a quarter. So, whether you're an avid coin collector or just someone who happens to stumble upon a few state quarters in their change, always remember to check your coins. You might just find one that's worth far more than its face value, and that could change your life. In conclusion, if you happen to come across an uncirculated Colorado State Quarter or one with a minting error, don't overlook it. It could very well be worth $60,000. So, keep an eye out, and you might just find yourself holding onto a rare piece of American history. Next coin, we're going to take a deep dive into the Massachusetts State Quarter from 2000, which is not just another coin you might find in your change. This quarter, part of the 50 State Quarters program, could be worth a lot more than you think. Trust us, you might just have a hidden treasure in your collection. Stick around until the end, where we'll reveal exactly how much this quarter is worth today. Let's start by looking at the Massachusetts State Quarter's history and significance. As the sixth state to join the Union in 1788, Massachusetts holds a special place in American history. It's the state where the American Revolution ignited, where the first battles were fought, and where many of the founding ideas of the United States took root. So, it's only fitting that the Massachusetts State Quarter would feature imagery that symbolizes these historic moments. On the reverse side of the Massachusetts Quarter, you'll find an iconic design that reflects the state's rich historical legacy. The design features a Minuteman, the legendary figure representing the colonial militias that were ready to fight at a minute's notice during the American Revolution. This design is inspired by the famous statue of the Minuteman located in Concord, Massachusetts, and it's a tribute to the bravery and resilience of the men who fought for independence. Behind the Minuteman, you'll also spot a farmer's plow, representing the agrarian roots of Massachusetts, and the year 1775, marking the year of the battles of Lexington and Concord, which were some of the first clashes in the American Revolution. The combination of these elements on the coin beautifully symbolizes Massachusetts' role in the birth of the United States, but the value of the Massachusetts State Quarter goes beyond just its beautiful design and historical significance. You might be thinking, it's just a quarter, but if you're lucky enough to have a high-quality example or one with minting errors, this coin could be worth a small fortune. The truth is, certain state quarters have skyrocketed in value over time, especially those in near-perfect condition or with rare minting mistakes. The rarity of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Even though millions of Massachusetts state quarters were minted, most of them circulated in everyday transactions and have suffered from wear and tear. Finding one that has been well preserved or remains uncirculated is quite rare, and when that happens, collectors will pay top dollar for it. A coin in mint condition is much more desirable to collectors, and because the Massachusetts Quarter is tied to such a significant historical event, its value can really increase. Now, let's talk about minting errors, and this is where things get exciting. Minting errors are one of the most sought-after features for coin collectors. A minting error happens when something goes wrong during the production process, resulting in a coin with unique and unusual characteristics. Some of the most valuable error coins are those with things like off-center strikes, double strikes, missing details, or even mismatched designs. If you happen to find a Massachusetts state quarter with any of these characteristics, you could be sitting on a goldmine. Imagine discovering that your coin has a misaligned die or a double strike, which could drastically increase its value. These errors make the coin stand out from the thousands of other state quarters, and collectors are always on the lookout for those one-of-a-kind pieces. So, it's worth checking your Massachusetts quarters carefully, especially if you've come across one in your collection. Now, the real question: how much could the Massachusetts state quarter actually be worth? While most of these quarters are still worth just 25 cents, a few lucky individuals have managed to find uncirculated coins or minting error coins that are worth much more than that. If you've got a pristine example or a rare minting error, your Massachusetts quarter could be worth as much as $65,000. Yes, you heard that right, $65,000 for a quarter. That's the magic of coin collecting. Something that seems so ordinary can turn out to be incredibly valuable. So, if you find one of these coins in unblemished condition or with an error, you could be holding on to an incredibly rare and valuable piece of U.S. history. But how can you tell if your coin is worth so much? First, look at the condition of the coin. Is it free from scratches, smudges, or wear? Is it shiny and well detailed? A coin in uncirculated condition, meaning it hasn't been used in daily transactions, is far more valuable than a coin that's been through years of circulation. The key to determining value is condition, so always inspect your quarters carefully. Second, look for any minting errors. Check for misprints or misalignments in the design. Sometimes, a coin might have double details or extra material that was left behind by the minting process. These errors are what make certain coins stand out and add significant value. If you're unsure whether you have an error coin, you can always take it to a professional coin appraiser who can provide an accurate estimate of its value. And don't forget, coin values fluctuate, and they depend on market demand. So, even though the Massachusetts state quarter could be worth $65,000, there are factors like rarity, condition, and demand that determine how much you can sell it for. Still, the potential is huge. In conclusion, the Massachusetts state quarter isn't just another coin. It's a piece of history that commemorates one of the most important events in American history, the American Revolution. And if you're lucky enough to find one in uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error, you could find yourself holding a coin worth a small fortune. Who would have thought that a simple quarter could hold so much value? If you have a Massachusetts state quarter in your collection, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. So, check your change, take good care of your coins, and who knows? You might just have a $65,000 coin sitting right in your pocket. Last unique coin, we're diving into a specific coin that might just be hiding in your collection, the Mississippi State Quarter from 2002. While quarters are usually something you just toss in your pocket or wallet, this one could be worth a small fortune. Stay tuned as we explore the fascinating history behind this coin and uncover how much it could be worth today. You might just find a treasure lurking in your loose change. Let's take a trip back in time to 2002, when the Mississippi State Quarter was released as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. This program, which began in 1999, was designed to honor each state's unique history, culture, and significance in American history. The Mississippi State Quarter is number 20 in the series, and its design captures the essence of the state, which played a crucial role in the American Civil War and the development of the Mississippi River. The quarter's reverse side features an image that represents the natural beauty and historical significance of Mississippi. The design showcases a riverboat sailing down the mighty Mississippi River, with a magnolia blossom, the state flower, alongside it. The riverboat serves as a symbol of the state's deep connection to the river, which was once the heart of transportation and trade in the region. The magnolia blossom, meanwhile, is a nod to Mississippi's official state flower, symbolizing the state's beauty and strength. What makes this design truly interesting is how it blends Mississippi's natural beauty with its historical significance, reflecting both its role in early American exploration and the Civil War. It's not just a pretty coin, it's a miniature piece of American history, and that's what makes it so appealing to collectors. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin especially valuable in the world of coin collecting. While millions of Mississippi state quarters were minted, the value comes not from the sheer number of coins produced but from their condition, as well as any special minting errors. The key to a valuable coin is its condition, whether it's been used in daily transactions or has been carefully stored in pristine condition since the day it was minted. Most of the Mississippi quarters that have circulated are in fair condition, having endured years of handling. However, those that have remained unblemished and uncirculated are considered rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. A flawless Mississippi state quarter, especially one that's been kept in a protective case, can fetch a higher price simply because it's so hard to find, but that's not all. As with many other state quarters, minting errors can dramatically increase a coin's value. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin-making process, resulting in something unique and often very different from the intended design. These errors could include misaligned strikes, double strikes, or even missing elements in the design, all of which make the coin stand out from the rest. If you come across a Mississippi state quarter that has one of these rare minting errors, your coin could be worth much more than you expected. Another factor to consider is the rarity of the coin. Although millions of these quarters were produced, very few remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. The more well-preserved the coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Collectors are always on the lookout for these high-grade coins because they are harder to come by as time passes and coins naturally begin to wear with use. So, if you're holding on to a Mississippi state quarter that's in mint condition, you could have something very special on your hands. So, how much could the Mississippi state quarter really be worth? Well, if you happen to own one in near-perfect condition or, even better, a rare minting error coin, you might be sitting on something worth a lot more than just 25 cents. In fact, a high-quality Mississippi state quarter could be worth as much as $55,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $55,000 for a single quarter. Imagine the excitement of finding such a valuable coin in your collection. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if your coin is worth this much? The first thing to check is its condition. If the quarter looks shiny, with no visible wear or scratches, it might be worth more than face value. Coins that have been stored properly in a coin holder or case are often in much better condition than those that have been tossed around in a change jar for years. Look for coins that have clear, sharp details without any signs of corrosion or discoloration. Next, be on the lookout for minting errors. Some of the most valuable error coins have things like double strikes, off-center printing, or die cracks that make them stand out. These errors occur during the minting process and make certain coins highly sought after by collectors. If you spot any unusual features on your Mississippi state quarter, it could be worth a lot more than you think. Lastly, remember that the market for coins is always changing. While a coin might be worth a certain amount today, its value can fluctuate over time depending on demand. That's why it's important to keep your eye on the market and seek professional advice if you believe you have a rare find. In conclusion, the Mississippi state quarter is a lot more than just a part of your loose change, it's a symbol of history and beauty. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, this coin is definitely one to keep an eye on. With the potential to be worth as much as $55,000, it's definitely worth checking your collection to see if you have one of these hidden gems. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!